Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Being the Marshmallow, Living and Coping with PTSD. I am, as always, Bob Wagner. That lovely creature in the background is my beautiful wife, and down on the floor is my idiot dog. Bonnie and Pete are taking a day off. Hey, honey, could you turn off the that light there? It's giving a glare.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. As I was saying, real time as it happens. Welcome back to Being the Marshmallow. I was going to do a thing about sensory overload, which is a very common problem among people with PTSD and other mental illnesses, but I had something happen this morning that gives me a need to just rant out, okay? Here's the deal. I've been trying to get on SSI disability for my PTSD for some time now because it is extremely bad and it really makes life in general very, very hard for me, like it does for a lot of people. And today, my attorney informed me that because I am doing the adult thing and actually paying my bills and working and being an adult and trying to be a functioning human being, despite the fact that I hallucinate so often that half the time I don't know what's real and what's not. Folks, I hallucinated a cat in my therapist's waiting room the other day, okay? Last week I'm at therapy, and I'm sitting there reading a book, and I'm in my therapist's waiting room, and there's couches and chairs and magazines with Jennifer Aniston on them, and this cat walks through, little black pepper-striped cat, walks right through the room, stops right in front of me, looks at me, meh, and keeps right on going. I'm like, was that a cat? That's where I'm at, folks. Okay, this is my normal 9 to 5, and apparently I don't qualify for disability because I'm actually fighting through cat hallucinations and being so angry that I can taste burnt copper and paying my bills, but apparently I'm not disabled because I don't fit this little box of what a crazy person is, and that's what I want to rant off about. Not just the fact that I got screwed over by my attorney, and by the way, personal note, open letter to anybody in the helping disabled people line of work. You see this? You know what this thing is? This is called a telephone. This is the most ubiquitous piece of technology on the planet. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, there is an illiterate goat herder in the wilds of Afghanistan with no running water, who thinks the Russians still own his country, who has one of these things. There is no reason, if you are in the profession of helping disabled people, you cannot use one of these things to get basic information about their case and save them 2 hours out of their day, okay? Do your job, learn it. Getting back to the rant at hand, there is a real serious problem in Western society in general, and particularly American society. I can't speak to Europe because I've never been there. But in American society, there is this perception of what a mentally ill person is supposed to be. Well, folks, you know what? I'm mentally ill, and yes, I know right now I look like a crazy person. I look like half a homeless person. I look like somebody you'd clutch your purse up against if you saw me on the bus. I've seen people actually do it. But here's the deal. I'm a husband. I'm a friend. I'm a writer. I'm a damn good employee at what I do for a living. I am charming. I am easygoing. I'm a great guy. I'm just kind of pissed off right now. Okay? But here's the deal. What society thinks we're supposed to be is we're supposed to be this emotional cripple. Okay? This vegetable person curled up in a ball somewhere in a corner, preferably out of sight where you guys can pretend that we don't exist. Probably covered in our own filth, cutting on ourselves, arguing with the voices in our head. No, 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 we can't give Lucky Charms to the fire hydrant. What will the unicorn say? Okay, stuff like that. That's the perception. Okay? And on the one hand, you guys want us to go away. You want to pretend that we don't exist. Okay? But you don't want to give us any damn help either, okay? You want to kick us to the edge of the social herd and let us just wander off into the wilderness and fucking die, okay? And that right there is the first F-bomb I have ever dropped on this channel. That's how aggravated I am, okay? And if we don't do that, if we don't oblige you people, in just going off and allowing you to pretend that people like us don't exist because what we have is scary and incomprehensible, and you're too locked into your little medieval mindset, and you probably think that this is caused by frogs living in our inner ear canal or some stupid nonsense like that. And we actually try to function in society, and we try to get a job, and we try to do all of the things that you neurologically typical people do and take for granted. You don't want us around because, oh my God, I don't want those people around. What if they do something crazy? What if they act crazy? What if it's catching? Okay, I have literally been told, well, I don't want to catch what you have. Folks, you can't catch PTSD off of a sneeze, okay? If it was communicable by my poor wife, who I can assure you has exchanged a whole rainbow of fluids with me, would have it and then some. The closest she gets to crazy is that she's crazy enough to marry me, the poor woman. Sweet woman, by the way. Great cook. Gotta try her cookies sometime. Just saying. So, on the one hand, you tell us, go away. We want to pretend that you don't exist. Well, guess what? We do exist. On the other hand, if we do say, no, I'm going to try to function. That's the other thing, is you tell us, well, you know what? Suck it up, buttercup. Life is hard. Just deal with it, okay? Function. Grow up, join the real world, okay? And if we try that, you tell us, no, we don't want you to do that, okay? Because that doesn't match what we, the neurologically typical community, think is a crazy person supposed to look like and supposed to be, okay? And if we manage to fake it, if we manage to pretend like we're functioning, and we are able to fight through the hallucinations and the sleep deprivation and the depression and the desire to take a loaded gun right there, click, and blow the back of our head off, which I'll tell you what happens pretty damned often. Every 54 minutes in this country, somebody with PTSD cacks themselves, okay? If we manage to fight through all that, and we manage to hold down a job, then what we get told is, well, how bad? Well, see, we were right. It's all in your head. How bad can it be? You're able to hold down a job. Yeah, you know what? We're able to hold down jobs because the alternative is starvation. Well, you know what? I've been unemployed. I have been homeless. I have been didn't eat today, and yesterday ain't looking so great either, and tomorrow ain't looking so great either. And you know what? It sucks. So what's the alternative, huh? Do you starve? Do you sleep on the street? Which, by the way, outdoors in winter in Minnesota kind of sucks. Okay? Or do you fight through the demons, and do you fight through the pain to actually hold down a job and actually function in society and have what you need and uphold your responsibilities to your kids and your spouse and to yourself to just survive? Okay? The fact that we're able to do this does not make us any less sick, and it does not make us any less unworthy of help. But that is society's idea. If you are dysfunctional, then you are a cripple and weak and stupid and don't deserve help. And if you are able to somehow muscle your way through all of the pain and all of the misery and all of the daily hell that is life with PTSD or any other serious endemic mental illness, then you're clearly not mentally ill, because mentally ill people are completely dysfunctional, and you don't need any help, and you don't deserve it, and you're just making a play for sympathy. And that is not the case, folks. We are human beings. We need and deserve help, okay? There is nothing weak about a person with a mental illness. There is nothing weak about a person with a mental illness who gets up and goes to work every day and fights through this. That is one tough son of a bitch. I don't care if it's me or anybody else. If you do that, you are tough as hell. You are hard as a coffin nail, and you deserve respect. And the neurologically typical people around you shouldn't be afraid of you. They should be walking up to you and shaking your hand and going, dude, I wish I was half as tough as you are. But that's not what we get. We get perceived as either weak or faking it. And either way, we don't deserve help. Well, you know what? We do deserve help. And stupid stuff like this, because I managed to hold down a $10 an hour job folding T-shirts for a living, suddenly disqualifies me from assistance that I desperately need, and it disqualifies how many of my brothers and sisters in the community who are in the same boat. Well, you know what? That ain't the case. That ain't right. That ain't moral. Okay? We need to have more compassion for the less fortunate among us. We need to stop this idea because, well, you're not wallowing in your own filth. you don't deserve any help, and if you are, well, then, and if you are wallowing in your own filth, then you're just a weak person and a bad person and a person of questionable moral character, and why should we waste resources on you? That is still the common perception among the neurologically typical people of the mentally ill. That is what has been communicated to me in damn near so many words, time and time and time again, and it needs to stop. Rant over. Y'all have a nice week. Be safe, be well, be here when I get back. Bye-bye.